in the glittering courts of imperial Europe, where power, ambition, and loyalty shaped the fate of nations. The family of one man ruled almost half the continent. That man was Napoleon Bonaparte. But behind the glory of his empire, behind the crowns he placed on the heads of his brothers and sisters, his own family was drowning in secrets, forbidden love affairs, betrayals, and scandals that threatened to destroy the reputation of the most powerful dynasty in Europe. Tonight, we uncover one of the darkest love stories inside Napoleon's family. A romance so controversial that even Napoleon himself tried desperately to stop it, but he failed. At the start of the 19th century, Napoleon Bonaparte rose from a young officer to become the most powerful ruler in Europe. After crowning himself emperor in 1804, he began placing his relatives on the thrones of Europe. His brother Louis Bonaparte became the king of Holland. Another brother, Jerome Bonaparte, became the king of Westphalia. And Napoleon's glamorous sister, Caroline Bonaparte, married the ambitious general, Joachim Murat, who would later become king of Naples. To the outside world, the Bonaparte family looked like an unstoppable royal dynasty. But behind palace walls, their personal lives were filled with scandal. And none was more shocking than the love story of Napoleon's younger brother. In 1803, while visiting the United States, Jerome Bonaparte met a beautiful young American woman named Elizabeth Patterson Bonaparte. She was the daughter of a wealthy merchant from Baltimore. Elizabeth, often called Betsy, was intelligent, charming, and famous for her beauty. Jerome quickly fell in love with her. The romance was intense, passionate, and reckless. Within months, the two secretly married in 1803 at first. The young couple believed their love story would be celebrated. After all, Jerome was the brother of the most powerful man in Europe. But they had made a terrible mistake. Napoleon had never approved of the marriage, and when he discovered it, he was furious. To Napoleon, marriage was not about romance. It was about politics. Every relationship inside his family was supposed to strengthen his empire. But Jerome had married an American commoner outside the European royal network. Napoleon immediately declared the marriage invalid. He ordered Jerome to return to Europe. Alone, Elizabeth Patterson refused to accept defeat. She attempted to travel to France to confront the emperor and demand recognition as Jerome's wife. But Napoleon had already taken action. When her ship reached Lisbon, French officials refused to allow her to continue. The emperor had closed the doors of Europe to her. Heartbroken and pregnant, Elizabeth was forced to return to America. Jerome obeyed his brother's orders. He abandoned his wife. And Napoleon arranged a new political marriage for him with a European princess. But the scandal did not disappear. Instead, it spread across both sides of the Atlantic. In America, Elizabeth Patterson became a celebrity. Her tragic love story fascinated newspapers and high society. She gave birth to Jerome's son, creating an unofficial branch of the Bonaparte family in the United States. Meanwhile, in Europe, Jerome tried to rebuild his reputation. Napoleon crowned him King of Westphalia in 1807. But whispers about his abandoned American wife followed him everywhere. Many Europeans saw Jerome as weak. Others blamed Napoleon for cruelly destroying a marriage. Even inside the Bonaparte family, scandals continued to erupt. Napoleon's sister Pauline Bonaparte became famous for her many rumored love affairs. Another sister, Caroline Bonaparte, secretly plotted political schemes against Napoleon himself. The Bonaparte dynasty, built on power and ambition, was slowly cracking under the weight of personal betrayal. But the greatest collapse was still coming. By 1814, Napoleon's empire began to crumble under the pressure of endless wars. European armies marched toward Paris. The emperor was forced to abdicate his throne. Suddenly, the powerful Bonaparte family lost their crowns. Jerome was no longer a king. His kingdom disappeared overnight. And the dynasty that once ruled Europe scattered across the continent. But the strange legacy of Jerome's forbidden romance lived on. In America, the descendants of Elizabeth Patterson Bonaparte continued to carry the Bonaparte name for generations. A reminder of the love story Napoleon tried so hard to erase. A secret marriage, a furious emperor, and a love affair that defied the most powerful man in Europe. Even Napoleon, who conquered nations and crowned kings, could not fully control the hearts of his own family. Sometimes, the greatest threats to an empire are not armies, but the secrets hidden inside the royal family itself. And this raises a haunting question. If Napoleon's family had been united, if their scandals and betrayals had never happened, could the Bonaparte dynasty have ruled Europe for generations? Or was it doomed from the very beginning? If you want to uncover more dark secrets, forbidden romances, and shocking scandals from royal history, subscribe to Obsidian Dynasty and join us for the next story, where history's most powerful families reveal their darkest truths.